Hey guys, what's going on? This is going to be my draft mode tier list update, and featuring the Riven patch. And now you see my big red letters here I have in my my post that I made. Now, before you noobs freak out about missing changes on champions, read this. What I'm planning to do is do 2 updates. I'll do another update in I'll do another update before I go to China, which is in like 9 or 10 days. So I'll probably do it in like 8 days. I know here it says 9. But I'm planning on doing another update for champions that I missed, such as like Pantheon, Shen, Tryndamere, champions like that who haven't really moved around. Those are just like the ones on top of my head that haven't been moved yet, but could move around. And I'm planning on making these lower tiers, not so much a tier 1, but maybe these last 4 tiers a little bit more balanced, a little bit more accurate, and that's what I'm going to do in my next update. So this update's going to more be featuring on the top 2 tiers. As you can see, those are where the majority of the changes are coming from. And yeah, so just letting you guys know before we get started. And yeah, if you guys want to support me or Rain of Gaming, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel here, Rain of Gaming. That's where it is. You can click on the videos when I make this, or you can even like Rain of Gaming on Facebook, and you should also like Elements on Facebook, which is me. Alright, so now that the plugins are done at the beginning of the video, let's talk about shit. Woo! Alright, now this isn't a change on the official change log, because he didn't really get moved anywhere, but he did move up because champions in front of him like Orianna and Annie and stuff like that have been moved down. So Zilean is now our number 1 contender in tier 1. Woo, Zilean! Zilean having great lane control, being both AP carry and support, which is what we kind of saw with Orianna. She's had this AP carry and support at the same time. Zilean, you can speed you up, slow you down, revive you, all that stuff. He's got great burst with his bombs, so support plus AP carry combined into one seems to be the recipe for a tier 1 champion. But yeah, let's move on from that. Zilean's tier 1 now, top of tier 1, and let's move on to the changelog changes. Jeez, it's like an office in here. It is an office. No wonder the phone's going off. Anyways, Orianna has been moved down in tier 1. Oh my god, now Orianna hasn't been moved out of tier 1. She's just moved down, where did I place her? Here she is. Orianna is the 3rd last in tier 1, which isn't so bad. She's still got a great amount of lane control, still got a great amount of support. She still CS really well. She can still really change the tide, or turn the tide rather, of a team fight. And her ultimate and speed, the two little AoE things, do so much damage still. They do still a crazy amount of damage. Her shield is still good. Like everything about her is really good, but she is really hard to use. But at the same time, remember what I said about my solo queue tier list. If you guys watch those videos, because she's so hard, I moved her out of tier 1. But because she's so hard, and she can be played by all these top tier players, because this is the tournament player, tournament draft mode, tier list, she's going to stay in tier 1 because she is still really good and she's still 100% viable. And a lot of teams are picking or banning her still in the competitive play. But let's move on to Lee Sin. Lee Sin is now the 2nd spot in the tier list. Lee Sin. As I talked about my solo queue tier list, a lot of the champions on the solo queue and the draft mode tier list will, be similar spots, but a lot of champions won't at the same time because they're totally different meta games. But Lee Sin, as I talked about him in my last video, great jungle control, great ganks, great team fight control. He can save people, he can burst people. He's great for stealing Baron. Because of his Q, the more HP is missing, the more Q damage does. So if you hit Baron with a Q and so it's getting low, all you do is Q smite and you instantly kill it. It doesn't even matter. You can actually smite before you Q, so it does even more damage and your Q will automatically get it. That's one of the best things about Lee Sin in competitive play, is he's a Baron killer. He's like Cho'Gath, but almost even better. And Lee Sin is also a great laner. His lane top is fantastic, on top of being a fantastic jungler. Everything about this champion is just strong. Tons of damage, tons of survivability, tons of tankiness, and he's got a great disengage and a little bit of CC. I mean, the champion's just awesome, and he's moved up into tier 1. Ashe has been moved down in tier 1. Not because of any particular reason. I just think there's some stronger AD carries than Ashe is, and that's all there really is to say. Same thing with Annie. Annie has been moved down in tier 1 just because I feel that there's a couple more AP champions that are better than her, and I feel that some of the champions are outclassing her in terms of being a viable pick. She's still really good, still really strong, still got that crazy burst, still got a little Bear Tibbers that fuck shit up for you. So Annie's still really good. Corki has been moved down into tier 2. Corki's been moved down into tier 2 because, not because he's super unviable or anything like that. It's somewhat of a popularity thing but also mixing with he's just kind of being outclassed again, I think. I really don't think he compares to a Vayne or a Trist or a Caitlyn. And those champions have really strong bot lane control. Corki has strong damage. Corki is still, the king of DPS when it comes to just raw damage you can deal out. Corki is your man, right, to just deal DPS. But Corki really shines in a solo lane, and when he's bot, since his nerfs, the other AD champions they're just doing better than he is in terms of lane control and what they provide for your team. So that's pretty much the reason he's moving down. If the meta changes to AD carries going back into lane and to the solo lane, maybe Corki would actually probably move up. But because the meta right now is AD carry bot with support or AD carry top with support, a side lane and not a solo lane per se, that is truthfully the reason why Corki's been moved down to tier 2. It's just because other AD carries provide more support or utility for those lanes than Corki does. And that's it. Tark has been moved down to the tier 2 as well. Tark, this is because of his ultimate change. The ultimate change, it adds a little bit of burst. It adds a little bit more damage to the AP side. It doesn't really add more, physical damage because it really doesn't. But the downside about this is that Tark loses a lot of tankiness because of his ultimate. Well, here's what you used to be able to do with Tark. You used to be able to run up, stun, shatter. Oh, you're getting low, heal yourself and just have your ultimate on. Do. As long as you had Chalice, you could rinse, repeat this in lane. You could rinse, repeat this in team fights. Tark was so tanky. He was such a good pseudo tank with his ultimate, and now they changed his ultimate, and it fucking sucks. It does. It beyond sucks. I fucking hate that ultimate. It ruined Tark for me. Tark was my favorite support. I'm known as a Sana support player. That's my best champion. But Tark was by far my favorite because I just played the pseudo tank role with him so well. I just felt like I couldn't die on support. It was awesome. And I don't like how they changed it. They gave him this fucking magical damage ultimate. It looks cool, but who the fuck cares what it looks like? It's not that good. Unless when you here's what they honestly think they should do. They should, cut the cooldown by fucking half. Give him 6 seconds where he regens health in this period, like his old ultimate. He got that, ultimate, they got the heal, as it tick, right? And I feel that you should get that back so you can be tanky, but cut that shit in half, cut the damage that it gives by half too, but cut the duration, the cooldown though. So you cut the cooldown, cut the damage it provides, but add your heal utility so Tark can not the damage, not the raw damage that he's dealing, but the damage he is orally giving out. Orally. Aura, as in auras, Aegis and stuff like that. And if they did that, I feel like he would flow a lot better. Obviously, you got to make this, a good thing so Tark just doesn't dominate the solo lane when he hits 6. He can burst people with his, ultimate shatter, and just rinse, repeat that all day long. I don't want that. I want a Tark that's more support and sustain. I don't want to damage Tark. I already had Shatter for that, but you fucking nerfed the damage on Shatter. So you know what? I don't want that. I honestly would be fine with taking the damage aspect of Tark's ultimate away and just giving him, maybe a negative aura, it reduces enemy damage by 20 and enemy what's it called, by enemy, what's it called? Why can't I think of it? Ability power, that's the one. Cut down the ability power by 20 again, and goes up to 30, and then cuts up to 40, and that lasts for 10 seconds or something like that. It has a little radius. I really don't feel like they moved Tark into the right area. That he didn't need damage. He's a support, so why shouldn't he support? Why did they give him damage? I really don't like that, and that's my rant about Tark, and that's honestly why I moved him down to tier 2, because I think his ultimate is a nerf opposed to a buff. I mean, granted, his kit did get changed for the better, and it got more balanced with his, Shadow Aura and all that stuff, but same time, his ultimate has been changed, and that's honestly a game changer for Tark right now, and that's why I moved him down a tier. Fiddlestick's moving down a tier right now because, not because of anything that's really happened to him. He did receive a little nerfs a while ago, but he's just people are classing him in terms of the jungle.